No one wants to buy China's coronavirus vaccine. Even countries like Cambodia, which are susceptible to function as China's client states, have rejected Sinovac, a vaccine being hard sold by Beijing. But there is one country that is ready to buy Chinese vaccines, which can be almost as deadly as the Chinese virus itself. We are talking about Turkey. The Erdoğan administration has declared that China's Sinovac biotech has a success rate of 91.25%, going by the interim data released from a late-stage trial in Turkey. China's Sinovac has suddenly become a lot more impressive when tested in Turkey, and it seems that Ankara's desperate economic situation and diplomatic setbacks might have a big role to play in Erdoğan's A+ grade to the Chinese vaccine. It is not a matter of surprise that researchers in Brazil, who are also running a final phase 3 trial on Sinovac, said on Wednesday that the Chinese vaccine was not more than 50% effective. The full results were withheld at the company's request, which raised transparency concerns. But Turkish researchers are certainly finding the Chinese vaccine a lot more effective than their Brazilian counterparts. What Ankara, however, says may be more deeply influenced by geopolitics and economy than by scientific research and health concerns. Turkey's health minister said, "We are now certain that the vaccine is effective and safe to use on Turkish people." He added, "Despite it being risky, we saw a very light picture where 3 people's PCR or COVID tests were positive with no fever or respiratory problems. We can easily say that despite it being risky, those 3 people went through it very lightly." Turkey had agreed to buy 50 million doses of Sinovac's shot and was supposed to receive the delivery by December 11th. However, the shipment was delayed. Now it is expected that 3 million shots would arrive in Turkey by Monday, and Turkey would start by vaccinating around 9 million people, starting with health workers. Ankara is actually buying Sinovac even though Brazilian researchers haven't declared full results. Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Sen, meanwhile, went as far as saying, "Cambodia is not a dustbin and not a place for a vaccine trial," while rejecting Sinovac. Chinese vaccines are known to be dangerous. The communist nation has witnessed a number of vaccine disasters and scams in recent years. Even in the case of the COVID-19 vaccines, there are deep concerns regarding China's inadequate quality controls in the entire manufacturing process. In fact, while the WHO has approved 47 vaccines from India for export, it has given the go-ahead for export of only 5 Chinese vaccines. Yet, Turkey will buy and administer Chinese vaccine shots to millions of Turkish citizens. After all, Erdoğan's vaccine diplomacy is not guided by health concerns. The fact remains that the Turkish economy is in a dire state owing to the present administration's populist policies. In fact, Turkey is becoming a Chinese vassal state. Ankara is riddled with predatory Chinese investments and commercial loans. Now, Erdoğan is buying the Chinese vaccine in the hope that the paper dragon will bail out a deteriorating Turkish economy with depleting forex reserves and a rapidly weakening currency. Also, Ankara has no big power to bank upon. The Trump administration in the US has imposed economic sanctions on Ankara for buying the Russian S-400 air defense system. Russia itself is engaged in several battles against Turkey, and the EU, represented by France, is also locking horns with Ankara. So, the only power that Erdoğan can look up to is Beijing. To that end, he can get even the people of his own country vaccinated with a substandard and highly unsafe product.